I'm Peaches and Plushies, and I'm going to show you how to make your own little cow. This is a pretty beginner-friendly beginner-friendly tutorial slash pattern. The only thing that's hard is making the stitches so tiny, but I mean, it's pretty easy other than that. You can use this pattern to make it for personal use or to sell it, but if you do sell it,
please
credit me.
thank you. If you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe, comment what you want to see next, because if you guys comment something, I will likely do it.
Because
I'm bored. So
let me know.
For this video, I'm using Over the River felt, which I use for every plush. They have great quality felt, and I definitely recommend them. And I printed out this paper with the pattern, which you can get in the description. And my little hedgehog with different sizes, pins and needles. And I didn't show all the different color threads I use, but I mean, you can just base it on whatever color plush you want to make. I showed 2 in this video, and these are the main colors I use. And stuffing, of course, need love. These are optional, but I use them for every plush. Perler pellets or weighted pellets. And if you use the pellets, I recommend getting a funnel or making your own. And a very sharp pair of scissors, because it actually affects how clean your cuts are with the felt. For the eyes, you can use felt or you can use beads. I like these ones. I thrifted them and don't know where to buy them. And I use these beads for the second plush. Here I am cutting out the pattern, and I end up getting ink all over my fingers. Don't really know why I decided to keep this in. You know how to cut patterns. And now look at this fire transition. Oh my god. For this step, you could use a washable fabric marker, but I feel like I don't always get the marks out, so I just pin everything down. Again, make sure that your scissors are sharp as hell, because it's just going to be choppy, and with the seams you're going to see that it's choppy. And then I'm reversing the pattern and doing the same thing. Every pattern that has the reverse sign on it, you're going to do this. For this piece, you have 2 different options, but pick one if you want it to be symmetrical. I am picking this design, which is the full head. I'm going to show the plush with a different pattern at the end though. And reverse it. So I ended up not even using this piece, but obviously you can if you want to do a different style than me, or you can make your own. It's really not that hard to just change things up a bit. This piece is for the head, which you want it to be the same color as the other head parts. And the tail, which you can really do whatever color, it does not matter. These are the ears, which I'm keeping the same color as the head. And this is the underbelly piece. These are the hairs on the tail. I like how they look when they're not symmetrical, but you can keep them the same if you want that. And lastly, the nose, which you're going to reverse to. Finally, about to sew, I'm going to pin down the first design, and it's just one heart because I like the asymmetrical look. And here's my big boy thread. If you could see how close I am to my hands when I do this, you would be impressed and scared. The gamer neck goes crazy when I do this. There are different ways you can knot and tie the thread, but this is the easiest one I found, which is just looping it, and then it makes one pretty big knot. Leave a comment if you know what this stitch is called, because I do not. I just know blanket stitch. But I'm just going in and then out, and then on the other side it's going to look like diagonal, but on the front you're going to keep it as straight as possible. Stitching takes so much time. Like, oh my god, looking at this, I wish I could speed it up. It's all so repetitive, but it is very calming at the same time. This is so sped up, but it looks normal. For the last stitch, I'm going to show you how I secure the knot. I'm going to loop it into one of the stitches that I already have, and then I'm going to be just looping it over and over and over again so it ties when I pull it through. I like to do this a couple times to make sure that it's secure. With hand-sewn dolls, the threads are so easy to pull, especially when the stitching is on the outside, and so you're going to really want to make sure that it's secure. Make sure to trim all the excess off so that it doesn't get caught when you're stitching the outside. And here I am repeating the same process on the other side, so making sure it's reverse. And you're going to want to secure it the same way. I am showing you guys all the little details, so this video is going to take forever to get through, but I just want to make sure y'all know what you're doing when you do this. If you guys actually are going to recreate this tutorial, I would totally recommend watching this once and just going through it, and then the second time maybe you could speed it up, because 25 minutes of this. What'd y'all do for St. Patty's Day? I just stayed at home and played Fortnite. Do you guys like the new season? Because I hate it. So to make sure that this guy actually stands, we're gonna sew on the legs like this. You could secure the thread and do it one by one, but that takes way too much time. So I'm just gonna do on a singular thread, just do all of this. You have to make sure that it's not loose when you do this though. And this is the belly. You can kind of see how it looks when it is standing in the back. For the nose, I'm going to do the same thing that I did the head. For here, I'm going to move the thread to make sure I don't cut it, and then I'm going to cut the excess off. And I'm going gonna do a little design for the nose. And you're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. You wanna make sure that they look as symmetrical as possible though. For the ears, I'm gonna bend them, and then using just my fingers to hold them down, I'm gonna go in with thread and I put it kind of on one side and then over to attach it. You can see kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm pushing the needle through both the ear and the head, and then for the other side, I'm just going through the head. And for the other side, I like to make sure that they're exactly the same because it's going to be noticeable. So I put both sides together before I sew the other side. You can add so many details onto these guys, like it really is just whatever you want to make it. For the tail, I put one piece of the hair on top. Nothing's on the back right now. And I'm doing one stitch. And before I put it back in, I'm gonna put the other piece on the back, so sandwich it. And then at an angle, I'm gonna go into this piece. And then at another angle, I'm gonna go into the other piece. And repeat that one more time. And then I'm going to do a little blanket stitch on the side to make sure that they're extra secure. I'm going to cut a little bit of the excess off, and then I'm going to secure it using the bottom of the tail and the white part. And it is assembly time, so I'm just going to pin these pieces into place, just one side at a time. And getting the middle of the belly piece, I am going to attach it to whatever side lines up with the legs, so just straight across. And I'm doing just a blanket stitch, easy, quick, fun, beautiful, love it, my favorite. And then super repetitive again, just doing the same blanket stitch over and over and over again. I should count how many stitches I do in a single plush because this is kind of insane to watch. Any area which you feel like is going to move a lot, I would pin it down to make sure that it doesn't move and you get it as symmetrical as possible. Because if it's moving and sliding, you might stitch it in the wrong area. And here I am getting to the last stitch near the head. So I'm not going to cut the needle or anything, I'm just going to pin the other side on. Making sure that I am stitching in the same exact spot as on the other side, I'm going to start again. So just more blanket stitches. And now I am near the butt and I am done with the bottom piece. So this is where I secure this thread in. I sound so raspy because I'm trying to be quiet right now. And by the way, I'm not sick or anything. This is a silly way that I like to secure the needle, just going back and forth, back and forth. And I do this over and over and over again to make sure it's as secure as possible. It is time for the head. So I put the thread through the side piece so it's not visible where it starts, and then I hook it into the previous stitch just so I can make sure it's secure and I don't have to start the blanket stitch just outside. And it's moving way too much, so I'm going to pin it. And then I'm doing the blanket stitch again. When you still have a tiny bit of room left in the nose, you're going to add this piece. So it looks kind of like a triangle, and you're going to go straight into the nose, and then you're going to put the last stitch of that part into the side. I really don't know how to describe it. Just watch, please. When I try to describe parts like this, it makes me realize that this might not be a beginner-friendly tutorial. But I believe in you, so if you are a beginner, please try this out still. And send me a picture, tag me. Stop, don't, make sure to show me, please. And then back to normal, just doing a blanket stitch all the way around the head. And once you get to the end, I am not going to secure the needle because I still want to use the thread. So I am going to go through, make sure it's around the thread so it's like hooking it. And then I'm going to repeat the same process. Now that I'm nearly done, I am just going to go ahead and stuff it. I'm using a little paintbrush to make sure that it goes all the way in there because you don't want it to be uneven and lumpy. And I'm just going to secure it here, trying to make it as nice looking as possible, and then I'm going to push it through the eye so the thread gets tucked in. Before I sew or do anything, I'm going to make sure the tail is in a position that I want, and then I'm going to go straight through that part right there. And do a single blanket stitch. And I'm just going to go diagonally into this tail to make sure that I'm attaching it. This is not a blanket stitch, so I'm just going to pull it straight through. I'm not going to do anything special. I kind of go at an angle, and then for the next thread, stitch, whatever, I go straight. So I'm going to go diagonal again. I'm going to go in an angle. And then once I pull this needle through, I'm going to go straight for the next stitch. And once you get to the end, I'm going to pull it just through the tail, and then I'm going to do blanket stitch. And then I'm going to go back to doing the blanket stitch. You know it. But before I go all the way through, I'm going to add the beads. This is my little DIY funnel. I'm using the paintbrush again to make sure that it goes in. I'm going to do one leg at a time. Make sure to feel it to make sure that it is not getting lumpy. I kind of overfilled mine, and you'll see it spilling out with the stuffing. So I kind of messed up by adding a lot at once. I would recommend doing a little bit at a time, but I just full sended it and I don't really know why. And I'm using a paintbrush again to make sure that I'm getting everywhere with the stuffing. Kind of satisfying to watch it go down. And once I'm happy with how full it is, I am just going to do a blanket stitch again. And now I'm going to do the eyes with the same exact thread. So I'm just going to go straight into where I want the eyes. My beads are a little too small for that needle, so I'm just going to trim the end of it, take the needle off, and then thread the thread through the eyes. And then I'm threading the needle again. Make sure to keep checking to make sure it's as symmetrical as possible. I like to look from the front like that just to make sure. And I'm doing the same thing. I decided that I want to secure the thread in this spot that I'm going to right now. And I'm just going to secure it and then hide it again by just going anywhere in the plush and cutting it there. A little unicorn moment. So if you make sure the thread does not knot when you do that, it should not be visible. How many times did I just say knot? And here it is. Super easy. There's so much you can do with it. Any cow design you want. And here's this one with a different type of head. For this one, the top of the head and the ears are gonna match the main body piece. Or not, it is completely up to you. And this is what it ended up looking like. If you guys want to see a tutorial for the two-headed cow, please like and comment that, because I will make one if it's requested enough. But that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye!